of our 11th annual Paleyfest Fall TV Previews, and our celebration, of course, of Univision's exciting new music competition series, La Banda. La Banda has its World Series premiere this coming Sunday, September 13th at 8 o'clock, so I encourage all of you to tune in. As always, we'd like to offer special thanks to our official media sponsor, Yahoo, for making these live streams possible. And special thanks as well to our good friends at Citi, our official card. And also to the incredible team at Univision, who are such a special part of the Paley Center family. Thank you, Univision. Tonight, we also celebrate the extraordinary career of international superstar, music superstar, and humanitarian Ricky Martin. We are so thrilled to welcome him to the Paley Center stage for the first time, as he adds this incredible new dimension to his career as the executive producer and judge of La Banda. To welcome him on stage, it's my great pleasure to welcome tonight's moderator. He is Deadline Hollywood's legal editor and chief TV critic. Please give a warm Paley Center welcome to Dominic Patton.
Thank you. I am not going to take up much of your time because none of you are here to see me. But what I would like to say is Renee already did it, but we should give a big welcome to everyone who's watching via streaming on Yahoo. Some of them are watching you, but let's say hello. Now, nowadays, you got one or two hit records, they call you a superstar. Some people really are superstars, and one of them is here today. So I'm not going to take up too much of your time because you don't want to hear from me. But let me tell you, when you have a career that's this long, you have the different aspects of a career, and now with La Banda, you have a whole new challenge. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Ricky Martin.
Good to see you again. Good to see you.
Hey!
What are you doing? All right. No. How are you? I'm sorry. How are you, man?
I'm good, man.
Let's do this. Thank you for being here, y'all. All right.
Hey!
Love this. This is so cool.
Now, you guys know, of course, that
you.
we're on one stage tonight, but you're going to be on a lot of stages soon, aren't you?
We start on the 15th, my world tour.
Yeah.
You guys gonna go?
The Forum, baby.
Crazy show. It's gonna be awesome.
All right. Well, let's talk about another crazy show because we've got it here. So let's talk. So, you're going on tour. You've got a hugely busy schedule, both at work and home. And let's be honest, you have two young children. Yeah. So, what made you decide to take on this new challenge?
It sounds insane, right?
It sounds way too hard.
But you know what? I number one, I love what I do. So the fact that I've been doing this since I was 12, and now I have the opportunity to kind of relive all those emotions that I went through when I started my career. It's pretty refreshing to be quite honest, because that's what La Banda has given me. The opportunity to work with young artists that are dying to say something through music, and for me to actually be able to help them and share with them what worked for me and what didn't work for me is like I said, very refreshing. And then you have someone like Simon Cowell that comes to you and he tells
you. You guys know that Simon Cowell is one of the executive producers of La Banda.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, it's phenomenal.
And he invited me to his house here in Los Angeles. He said, Ricky, what do you think about this? Is this crazy? Is this something that could work? And I'm like, of course it could work. I think it's a brilliant idea. And in every other email, I tell him, thank you so much for bringing me into this madness, because it is a lot. It is a lot. A lot goes on, and the most important thing is to be able to see these kids just dying to perform and to see their evolution,
their progression. Well, one thing that's interesting is Simon obviously has had a huge career of his own, but he's had the success with One Dimension. I'm interested.
One Direction.
One Direction. Sorry.
Yeah, that's another band.
One Direction.
That's another band.
You know, when you keep having all these names like this, but his success with that, I know, and I used to be a music critic. It's terrible, isn't it? Now he's going to make me take his songs off my playlist. And
No. Oh, you're kidding me? Get out of here, man. No, not at all.
But you know, that success, you know, was like a fourth career for him. Like it suddenly came again. You know, how do you see that replicating itself with La Banda? Do you see, are there similar things, or are you looking to put together a boy band that has aspects of that, but has other aspects that are unique to it?
First of all, I must say that it is amazing to be able to work with Simon, and the image that we all know about him is this, you know, the dictatorial kind of guy, and not at all. Actually, he's someone that is very open to advice. He's very open to new ideas, and that's what makes him brilliant. I think that this band is going to be based on every artist, every kid, I must say, because they're all adolescent, to be able to defend their identity. And that will bring a refreshing touch. Usually, at least when I was in a band, I became part of the band. I became part of a concept that was already structured. And they pretty much told us what to say and what not to say. And here, at least as a manager and as a producer of this band, I want them to be themselves.
Well, see, that's what's amazing.
I want them to be real.
That's what's amazing about this. You're a judge. You're an executive producer, and you're going to be the manager of the band that gets put together out of all of this. I mean, those are 3 full-time jobs, my friend. And you have this other career, you know, where you sing that people hear about every now and then.
Do sometimes.
So I mean, what, you know, how
Let's make money while we sleep. Just kidding. No, did I just say that? Shh, stop it.
Hey, you know what? Skills to pay the bills, my friend. Skills to pay the bills.
No, listen, I am very passionate about this, and like I said, it's you know, nowadays it's so difficult, you know, for new artists to be able to stand on stage, to have a platform, and to reach masses of people. What we're saying here is that there are artists in this production that, number one, have never been on stage before, and the first time they walk on stage, they will be performing in front of maybe 13, 14 million people that are going to be watching every week. So it is, or maybe more. Did I just say 14? Can I just say 25 million people that are going to be watching every week?
Let's say the population of Canada.
Exactly. I mean, if we just go by the Latin community, we're 67 million people. So let's just go to 30. Let's just say 30.
Conservative.
No. What I'm trying to say is that it's a very new project. It's a very new concept. What you are going to see has never been seen before in the Hispanic television, and not even Hispanic in the Anglo television.
Well, and I mean, the use of technology is quite phenomenal.
That's where I'm going to.
People who are watching this on streaming haven't had the opportunity to see some of the clips.
Yeah.
But you know, from the very beginning, people are voted on literally in real time before they even get to you guys.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
true.
You know, that's a really interesting component. Why did you decide to bring in those stages?
Well, you know, it's a boy band, so we invited 700 girls. we invited 700 girls, and the artists will walk into this runway, and they have literally 1 minute to convince them on why they have to vote yes for them to walk into the auditioning room and then meet with the judges. So, you know, we have great footage. Great footage that eventually we will show these kids of, like, do you remember doing this? You know, it's going to be fun. But what I'm trying to say is that one way or another, the fans are going to feel responsible.
And connected.
And connected. And because they voted yes the first time that kid was on stage. So we just want to bring them in and for them to feel what they really are important to this project.
Now, you talked about it, and I think it's very, very important. You know, we've seen a phenomenal growth in the Hispanic and Latin market here domestically in the United States, and of course around the world. You know, Latin and Hispanic music is where it's at, my friend. It is, right? And you were one of the originators of it, one of the pioneers. Oh, come on.
No.
Of course it is.
No, we would. I have to give, of course, a lot of credit to Gloria Estefan and Carlos Santana and Jose Feliciano, people that have done so much. Even Celia Cruz, you know, and people that have done so much for our culture. But I did my part.
But you helped take it to another level, my man.
All right. Stop it. Right.
And the interesting thing about La Banda is, you know, do you see that creating this kind of boy band? Do you see that as now taking it to another level?
Hey, listen, when we do things, we do them right. If not, we don't do them. And if we talk about the Beatles was a boy band, and today they are with us, you know. And same thing with the Rolling Stones, and same thing with the Jackson 5. And so this is serious. This is not a game. Our mission here is to unite generations with this music. We want the whole family to sit down every Sunday to see this show. And because everyone is going to relate with all the artists some way, somehow. And it is something that, because of my beginning, I've been able to do this for 30 years. I want these kids to have a long career as well. And every decision that we're making right now as producer or me as a manager is based on the longevity of this artist. This is serious business for us.
Wow. That's very, I mean, I have to say, it's a very impressive endeavor. I do have to say that. I do.
Thank you.
Come on, guys.
Please.
Come on.
No,
really, I think so. I mean, I think a lot of artists.
Someone said I'm having a Waldrop malfunction here.
I don't think some people think that.
Sorry. It wasn't my idea. Stop it, guys. Yeah, the belly. I have to stop eating before I come here. Sorry, guys. All right, got it.
We'll be back after that for a second. But it's,
I can hear someone. And I'm like,
it's very interesting to see someone, you know, at your stage in your career to invest in the future, and you're teaching them and bringing them the lessons that you learned over a long career. You know, that's a pretty big thing. That's a pretty big challenge to take on.
No, you know, I think it's time to get back. It's time to get back, and it feels right. And when I talk to the artist. In the show, it feels amazing because they look at you and they listen. It's a generation of artists that are just so hungry for information, and they sit in front of their computer and they spend hours in front of their computer. They're really exposed to information, but still they sit with you and they look at you deep in the eye and they listen to the advice, and that makes them winners. You know, when you walk into this business and you think you know it all, that's when you lose. And these kids have that instinctively, so it's very beautiful to see all that thought process and information going into their heads, and then turning that into art. You know, when you see the rehearsals, when you actually see them on stage, is very special.
You know, the music industry has changed a lot since when you started out. I wanted to know, what do you think some of those changes are?
Well, forget about the changes. Forget about the most important thing. Some things will never change, and that is that people need talent. People need those voices. People need artists that can communicate. Don't pick it up. Those.
You know, that should have been playing another song. Just going to tell you that right here, right now.
No. But let's just focus on the things that haven't changed, and that is that the audience every day is asking for truth, for honesty, for transparency, and the audience wants an artist who is comfortable with his or her identity, and that we definitely have in La Banda.
You know, it's really interesting to hear you say that, because, you know, so often when people talk about what advice they would give to another generation or another artist, they don't talk with the passion that I hear you talking about.
All right. Well, you know, this is when I embark myself in a mission, I do it with because I really believe in it. I am very pleased, and it came at a right moment in my life. I don't know, you open cycles and you close cycles, and all of a sudden, this is something I've been wanting to manage artists for a long time. But I say, you know what, it'll happen. You know, organically, it will come to me. And all of a sudden, I received this phone call from Simon, and it was a domino effect. And yeah, these artists are going to be very protective. I am going to have an amazing group of people that will work in image, and I have an amazing group of people that will work in the strategy and logistics of the tour and the touring and the buses, etc. I will be more present, available for them when it comes to the emotional process that we all go through as artists. You know, we go through a lot of highs and lows and ups and downs, and when you're young, you need to have that someone that will, you know, bring you back to the ground and help you to keep your feet, you know, where they need to be.
And you can also say to them, unlike a lot of other managers, you can say, look, I've been there. I know what that feels like.
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing this for many years. I'm just as insecure. You know, I doubt myself. I doubt some of my decisions. that is something that we have to live with and we have to accept it. That's why we go on stage, because we need the reassurance from others, in this case, the audience.
Is that a part of your creative process too? Sort of playing into your own vulnerabilities to discover the music you want to do. I know, like recently, I know that you sort of changed the way you record nowadays. You take on a more like, I just go with my inspiration.
Right, because we were saying that before. I used to lock myself in the studio for 9 months, and I would force myself to find the muse, and sometimes it was very frustrating, very difficult, very anguish is the word. You felt a lot of anguish. And I said, enough is enough. I told my manager and my record company, I will never do that again. Now I will walk into the studio whenever I feel like it. And I just released an album, I Quien Quiere Escuchar, which is pretty much one of my favorite productions. And it's because of that, because nothing was forced, because everything, the timing of the emotions, what I'm trying to say is that I wasn't dealing with a clock. And I hopefully will work like that with the kids in La Banda.
It seemed. I mean,
maybe not for the first 2 years. They're going to work like crazy the first 2 years, but I believe that in order for me to definitely create longevity with this band, I think it's incredibly important for them to take time off the limelight, the spotlight, and in order for them to regroup and process all the information that they're receiving, and then go back with more energy.
And bond, too, as individuals coming together as a band. Now, I have to ask you this. I know it's almost a tacky question, but I'm dying to know, is having started on the show, started on this new adventure, what was the thing that surprised you the most? What was the thing that you didn't expect was going to come out of it?
Well, first of all, we're only starting with this whole process. I was pleasantly surprised with the fact that about 10,000 guys showed up to the auditions in different cities. 10,000, and we didn't know. Right now, we can do not one, we can do 3 bands. Wow. The talent in this group of guys, is something that I'm pleasantly surprised, and I don't know what's going to happen at the end for the finals. And when we have to start really narrowing it down to just five kids. So. I mean, it's the talent, the amount of talent, definitely.
Well, people are going to tune in on Sunday night to see some of that talent, see the beginnings of it. But one thing we told people we were going to do is some of the people in the room here, again, as I said, they didn't come here to listen to me talk. Right. We got some questions from you guys that we want to read out. Now.
I love you too, baby. I love you too.
Now, is there a Daniel Lamb in the room? All right, my man.
Come here. I went to the bathroom.
Daniel. Daniel had this question, and I think it's very interesting. Compare your live theater experiences, you were in Les Mis and Evita, to your concerts. How are they different, and what's your preference?
Oh, it's very different. Very different. I wish I had started doing theater before actually performing as a soloist or in a band, because the discipline that I get every time I do theater, it makes me a better entertainer, a better performer. It is amazing. I don't know if you guys know, but sometimes if you're doing theater, at least on Broadway, and you have a scene where you have to drink the glass and you put it here when it is supposed to be here, next morning you get a call time for rehearsal. So you have to do it. No, but why? Okay, I promise. I will put it here this time. Rehearsals tomorrow at 9. So what I'm trying to say by this, it is military. It is beautiful. The audience that you perform in front of on Broadway every night is a very difficult audience.
They loved you, man. They loved you. They did. Well, and and it was, again, like with La Banda, it was, you took on a challenge. Mm-hmm. You could have stayed in a comfort zone. There was nothing making you do it, and you took on a challenge. I think that's something as an artist that you do that impresses people consistently.
Oh, thank you. I like risk. I like taking risks, and I look for any excuse to be in front of an audience and to be on stage, and for me it was an honor to be part of the Broadway community, and I will do it 1,000 more times without a doubt. So to answer your question, I would say it is very different. It doesn't matter if I perform in front of 25,000 people or if I perform in a cabaret, which I've done, and it's amazing. the audience that come to my show, they're expecting a level of energy, and they really love embarking in memory lane and listening to those hardcore, cutting vein ballads that I used to sing in the beginning of my career. And but first and foremost, the most important thing is I want people to leave the concert happy. You know, that's my mission. I tell them, I dare you to allow yourself to be free for this next 2 hours. Just, who cares if you don't know how to sing and you don't know how to dance? Allow yourself to dare to do that, to do it. Forget about the judgmental thought of whoever is standing next to you. Show him or her that it is important to be free. And people take it very seriously, and I like that.
And they dance very seriously.
No, I like that.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter with rhythm or without rhythm. They go, and that's all right. That's what I want, you know. So if you go to my concert, just wear sneakers and jeans, and because you're gonna dance.
now this what you said actually kind of leads to this. This is from Robert Grayson, which is a very great name, by the way. Robert Grayson, very like
hey Robert, how you doing?
Movie name, great name. So Robert had this question: is there any particular philosophy or credo that you have in terms of which projects you choose to be involved in? I mean, I would say just from knowing you, a lot of it's just about the passion.
It's a gut feeling.
Yeah.
It's something that just feels right, and then you do a little bit of research, and then you get even more excited when you're doing your research, and you ask people in the industry, what do I think, and then you come to your own conclusions. But if I embark myself on a specific project, it's because I believe in it 100%, and I am in love with the project and everyone around the project and everyone that I'm going to be working with. For me, that's extremely important.
I feel like we've rehearsed these questions and we haven't, because the next one makes total sense. This is from Sandy Sabalos. I can't read it. Hey, Sandy, how are you? If you can't see Sandy on the live stream, she's there. She's awesome. Ricky, and I love your question, by the way, because it's just asking it. Ricky, do you ever miss being part of a group?
It was a great beginning. And now I don't like sharing the stage with anyone. Just kidding. I think it was a fantastic beginning, yeah. I really enjoyed those 5 years of being in a band with other artists. But I close that cycle and I open new ones. And but once again, the people that I'm on stage with every night, I'm talking about my band, people that I've been working with for many years, my dancers. We're a family, you know, and we're a band, and I make decisions based on what's good for the production, but first and foremost, based on their well-being as well, you know, and like I said, it's a family. Yeah.
Well, to that end, we're kind of a family a little bit tonight, wouldn't you say? I see many of you have your cameras out. So we're going to take a selfie with all you guys in the background.
Awesome. Yeah.
So just stay in your seats, but everybody stand up.
Gonna do it?
Yeah.
You gotta smile.
Yes. They can smile, my man.
Got it.
All right, Ricky. All right, guys, come on.
Yeah. Now this one.
Nice.
This side.
All right.
Another one.
This side.
Smile.
Ready?
Yeah. Now this side.
Nice.
This
All right. It's like one of those around-the-scopes. Ready? Nice.
Awesome.
So I'm going to put this up on my Deadline Dominic Twitter feed, and then you guys can all get it. You can be like, hey, Mom, there's me in the third row. Awesome. We'll put it up afterwards.
We're looking for those retweets, huh?
Exactly. Hey, you know what? Skills to pay the bills, my friend. But we got one more. I got one more question for you, okay?
Right.
And this is actually from, it's anonymous. So after I read out the question, if you want to put up your hand, honestly, we'll give you a shout out. But I actually find, you've talked about this a little bit, but I want to come back to it again. And I think this is a good way to close tonight. What are you looking for in the contestants of La Banda?
What am I looking for? For that thing. It's a spark. It's something you can't explain. It's something in the attitude. It's something in the personality. It's something in the aura of this artist. Obviously, we're looking for talent, and we're looking for a level of comfort. This is something you don't study. to be able to stand on stage and just make something that people can blink because they're looking at you. You're born with it, and we found this. We found this on these auditions. We found kids that have this angel that people they just have to look at them. They have the star quality. Is that how you call it? Yeah. It's this thing that you don't study, but you're born with, and then on top of that, we found this star quality with talent, with voice, with charisma, with the je ne sais quoi thing, you know, and we're very, very pleased.
Well, I think we're all very, very pleased with this evening. Wouldn't you say, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ricky Martin.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy it. Gracias. 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 Hope you enjoy it.